Why, hello there, Vortex here, and today I'm going to be showcasing you the first official BT-10 gameplay. BT-T? What does that mean? Who knows? Between myself playing Jesmon and my opponent playing something my opponent's been really looking forward to. I can't remember the name. I think it's Lamortmon. I apologise. I haven't watched like any of the anime of Digimon, so all these names are kind of like new to me, but my opponent here has been really trying to make Lamortmon a thing, and he's got his wishes in BT-10 for sure. And so we get off to a pretty good start here. We have level 3 in play and then in raising, and then my opponent also has a good setup with, I believe, Ruli. And the champion, is it Ancleomon? I'm not too sure. Don't hate me, please, for not knowing these Digimon names. I'm so sorry. And I also want to apologise for the glare. I noticed it during the game, but we've already started, so I was kind of just like, as you can see here, I'm trying to see if it will work. I can explain all the cards on my side anyway, so thank goodness. But yeah, so my opponent's got a pretty good start here. Obviously got his set to free memory to cost Tamer, and then I've played a Blanc to trash 1 to draw 2, because I'm really desperately looking for a level 4 here. And yeah, that is something that's going to hinder my strategy in this game. So my opponent goes on, plays this memory boost, which I believe suspends one of my Digimon and allows him to draw a card, maybe? I'm not too sure fully. He then swings into the Blanc, and then he goes into the Entmon. I had no idea. I think this is Entmon. I don't know. I've never seen this card in my life before, but it's, I think if it deletes a Digimon, it can bring itself back up. So pretty cool. I swing a security here. My opponent goes to free security, and now he has a pretty big push. I finally found the level 4 and have the hero as well, so that's pretty good. He then plays the promo Ruli, or Ruri, as Digimon can't print their cards properly. He swings, and then I get a red memory boost. I didn't really know, like, at the time, like, to play around this deck was to just not play cards out, but unfortunately my deck requires me to play cards out. So he has a pretty big turn here. And so I'm just checking what the DP is here, and I think it's 9k, I believe. And so I'm just considering what I need to do here. I think I tunnel though, unfortunately. Not good for me, to say the least. So we'll see what I do here. I'm pretty sure I am going to misplay. Yep, so I keep in raising here, and this is a mistake. Because the Ruli that sets the memory cost to free allows you to suspend when attacking. So not really good on my behalf. And as you saw in my hand, I had the Savior Huckmon, which means I could have gone Savior Huckmon into bring up the Bow Huckmon, go into the Savior Huckmon, and then swing, use hero to gain additional DP, and then get rid of one of his big threats on the field. Unfortunately, I do not do that, so a really big misplay on my behalf. Really shouldn't have played another body. He then plays this option card, which gives something piercing, I believe, and use the effect to get an additional 3k, and then also suspend my Huckmon. And then he does it again, swings, pierces into security, swings again at 1 security. It does die this one, but yeah, I mean, at this point I know that I've messed up, because let's face it, if I cleared the Entmon, he wouldn't have got 2 swings, and I probably could have been able to deal with the other level 5, I believe it's level 5, on the field. And so he ends his turn by playing 2 Betamon here. The one that searches, I believe, a level 4, I think. Level 4, level 5, I'm not too sure. Again, a lot of the green cards, not too sure about. So I finally promote the Bow Huckmon. This is, like, way too late at this point. I go into the Savior Huckmon, go to 0, a draw, get to attack unsuspended. I then look at my trash to see my sister ones that I have in rotation. So just considering what I want to do now. And at this point, like, I understand that he has 4 potential swings next turn, well, 3, because I know that the Mmon's going to die this turn, because I'm just thinking about how to do this, because again, this is our first times playing these decks, so we're a little bit unsure about the sequencing of a lot of things, and we're just trying to practice basically. And so I go into the Jesmon here, draw, I get Blitz, so I swing into the Entmon, I use the effects of my Inheritable, so it allows me to draw a card from the Guri, reveal top 5, to put any system ones in hand. I get the Blanc, which is pretty good in this situation. I then use the Savior Huckmon to play from trash, I believe. To play the Blanc, so I can get a blocker to draw a card. I then play the Jesmon, which allows me to play the CL from my hand, which allows me to Digivolve the Jesmon, because CL allows me to Digivolve on top of it. I still have to pay the memory cost, but it doesn't really matter at this point, because I'm going to go into the X antibody here, which I think I forget to draw here, but I gain a... Oh no, I don't forget to draw. I gain a memory, and then I get to use the Jesmon X antibody, because I Digivolved, to go into another system on, and all my stuff gets an additional 5k, I believe. Yep, so I put another blocker up, just because I know that, you know, I could potentially lose this. So I need, if I lose one of the blockers, then I lose the game. So I put both of them up, hoping that you can't deal with them both. Do the 2 security checks, and it goes to his turn with 3 memory. And so I think this is where I realized that I kind of messed up. I could have potentially gone into red memory boost here to gain myself 2 additional memory, and then I could have potentially played a system on CL, because I believe I had the system on CL that allows me to gain a memory, which would then cause me to go to 0 memory, which is pretty important to say the least. I'm just thinking what I'm doing here. Yeah, I'm just telling about the DP condition, because Jesmon X antibody also gives DP plus 2k. And then I'm realizing, like, yeah, I can't really do much, unfortunately, because the Ruli requires it to be 5k or less, and I don't have enough, so that is game 1. We now get into game 2, and now that I'm thinking of it, like, I quickly realized that, yeah, I definitely did end up messing up on the first game. I could have gone into a CL, which would have given me 0 memory, which means it would pass to the opponent. Wouldn't pass to the opponent, and then I could play Chimeramon to clear the board. So it would have ended up winning me the game, unfortunately, which sucks. But we move. So we start off with the game, and as you can see, what you can't see because of the glare, again, apologies for that, we have 2 forts because I can't find a level 3 to save my life. And so he plays the memory boost, which suspends a guy, and then swings Entmon into the level 4, unsuspends itself, and then swings, gains like 12k, I believe. And then plays a Betamon to end his turn. I had to read this option card because obviously I knew it did piercing, but I didn't know what else it did, quite frankly. So I was just considering. So I go into the Huckmon here, finally find the level 3, otherwise I would have had it earlier. I go into the Bow Huckmon to prepare myself for a large turn here, and then go into... swing and security, even, sorry, I blanked there for some reason. Swing and security survives, but that's not very good because now I know he can get more advantage, potentially swing in more, so not very good for me. And then swings at security. I had to check this because I was like kind of crazy a little bit. I get the X antibody in security, which really helps me here, quite frankly. And then he's just considering what he wants to do to end his turn, and he just goes into the level 4, pass me on to 3. So I then go into BO3, go into the Savior Huckmon, which allows me to attack unsuspended Digimon. And now I'm just considering what I want to do. I think at this point I do have the Jesmon. I say Justimon. Watch my Justimon videos from the previous week, but I have Jesmon in hand, but I don't have the X antibody. And as this is like pretty early on, I don't actually have all the X antibodies. In this version of the deck, I would rather be playing 3, but I only have 2 at the moment, so unfortunate. But I'm going to Jesmon anyways, just to clear the board, because I know that if I don't contest this board, it can get a little bit crazy very quickly. And so I go into the Jesmon, play a System 1 CL, which allows me to gain a memory, put him onto 2, and then I'm just considering the effects of the Jesmon. I think I'm just calculating for him, and then I don't know if I have another System 1 in hand. I probably should have another System 1 in hand, I think. I do not have another System 1 in hand, so I think I might have misplayed here. Maybe? I don't know if I can't remember if the System 1 CL came from the hand. And this is the Lamortmon. My first time seeing this card. Looks pretty cool, to be fair. So he swings into the CL. Doesn't have piercing, but he gets to restand. I believe I'm not too sure what the Lamortmon does, but I believe it actually loses memory if it doesn't have a tamer in play, which is a bit weird to say the least. Yeah, that allows itself to, if it deletes the Digimon by battle, you can unsuspend. So he swings at security again here. And then he plays... Yeah, so he gains memory due to the Stingmon, I believe. And then it goes to my turn. At this point, it's very clear that I need to remove this Lamortmon because I cannot let this Lamortmon stay alive. And I also need to deal with the Angoro. I believe it's called an Angoromon. And this is actually something I didn't realise. I thought I didn't realise that the Jesmon allows you to, when attacking, just play a System 1. I thought it was just in general, just like the just like on play or something like that, when digivolving even. But I was wrong. So I think I forgot about it this time. And so I play a Huckmon, get 2 System 1s from it, because I assume I'm getting those because I lacked the Jesmon from when my Jesmon search, because it only does from hand, not trash. And so I swing with Jesmon. I use his effects to play System 1 from trash. I play the CL, which allows me to gain a memory, and then I use the Jesmon search to play another System 1, and I play the System 1 CL, which allows me to digivolve onto the X antibody, which allows me to get a lot more advantage. So I gain a memory because of System 1 CL when I digivolve, gain a memory, and then with the Jesmon X antibody, I get to play another System 1, which this time it will be Blanc. So at this point, I'm very much protected. I feel very good. Get to delete the Lamortmon and also do, I believe, 2 checks. And then I then go DNA Digivolution into the Chimeramon, which allows me to do the go into Chimeramon, put the BO3, which allows you to delete a 5k or less. And then I get to, I believe, swing with the Chimeramon. I'm just considering the effects because I thought it was. I didn't realize you needed like some more colors, but it didn't really matter because I'm allowed to attack with the Chimeramon because it does remove itself from summoning sickness. Uses effect to delete the Angoro, and then swing at security. Not too sure what it does. Oh, it suspends a guy. Okay, cool. And then I go for the end of my turn to play Systemon Blanc to trash and draw 2. And at that point, it is pretty much game. I just go into my turn and then swing for game. Alright, and now into the final game. The Lamortmon player will go first and has a pretty good turn of actually just going straight into the Ruli, which sets up all of its plays basically. And so I have a pretty good start here. I go into the Huckmon, then the Bao Huckmon. I think I had both Bao Huckmons at this point, but I actually valued having the 5k DP or less deletion. And the only reason why is because it allows me to deal with the low level Digimon, which he sometimes rushes out, and so I thought it was really good to end up actually going into this. He then plays another Tamer, which I believe if one of our guys is suspended, he gains a memory on both sides at the start of his turn, and then if a guy becomes suspended on his turn, he gets to draw a card, I believe. Not too sure fully, but I believe that's what it does. And so I promote into the Bao Huckmon. I end up swinging at security here for 6k, drawing a card because I was desperately needing cards. Unfortunately, I don't think I had the Savior Huckmon in hand, so I was just like desperately trying to look for the Savior Huckmon here. And so I play another Systemon Blanc here to trash and draw 2. I put the CL in the grave so I can get prepared for Savior Huckmon turns potentially in the future. And then I end off by playing a Systemon Blanc, allowing me to draw a card because I'm desperately searching for the cards that I need at this point. It's also good to know at this point that we are close to time. So I had to like rush a couple of these plays, and it doesn't end up affecting the final result. So his turn's pretty good. He gets to stay on these rookies, but in raising he just goes into the Entmon, which is obviously a big threat. Go into the Huckmon in raising, then the Bao Huckmon. And I'm just considering what I want to do here, because at this moment I'm kind of in a little bit of a tricky situation. At this moment, I probably could have potentially done a lot more here. I could have, for example, swung with all the Systemons, but I think I decided against it in the end, and then so I just play a blocker ready, but probably shouldn't have done that because now it kind of makes it redundant, like. Because if obviously I knew at the time, but if I had the Savior Huckmon in hand, then maybe I'd just go a little bit aggressive here. So he goes using his effect to suspend one of my Digimon and then suspends the Huckmon. Then he gets a draw from his dual Tamer there. He then swings the Entmon, I believe. Swings the Entmon. I think we're just considering like how much DP he has basically. He goes for face first. Allows me to play from Master and Disciple. There's no additional effects here, it's just asking. Swings the Angoro into the Huckmon. Then goes into Gargomon for his turn, and then I go push up my Bao Huck. Now I'm just considering what I need to do. So I use one of the Master Disciples to go into the Savior Huckmon for a reduced price, which allows me to attack unsuspended Digimon. It's good to know that the as it's not gaining memory, it's just reducing, so it bypasses that effect. And so I go to Jesmon. I swing. I believe it's at the Entmon because he just proposes a bigger threat. And so I start activating this effects. So the first effect I'll activate is the 5k DP or less. Gargomon was 5k, so I feel pretty good about that. There is no Systemons there, so I don't get any Systemon search. I believe I'm supposed to draw from the Gurumon, but again, like, this is my first time playing this deck, so please do cut me some slack. I end up playing a Systemon CL. It doesn't gain a memory, but allows me to gain additional DP. and then I also play the Systemon CL, which allows me to digivolve into the X antibody, which then allows me to gain another Systemon Blanc, and then also increase my DP. Flower Cannon gets shown, but unfortunately, as I play the Systemon Blanc, everything has blocker, and unfortunately at this point, even though like I was very much in the lead, time gets called, and it ends up being a draw.